Hey everyone, welcome back to Pillow Rainy, and today I'm gonna try my bestest to make another little critter friend for this bunny. It's a hare, actually. I made him a long time ago through this book, and in this book there is a whole collection of these little friends. Bunny friend is right there. So I'm gonna make one of them, and I actually haven't decided who yet, so I thought I'd open it and have a look-see. I like these hairy ones. This is a llama. It would be fun to figure out how to do this. An otter. Should I make the chinchilla? Oh no, I'm super indecisive about it now. Okay, I'm gonna close the book for now. Man, which one do I want to make though? You know what? The sloth. Let's make the sloth. That's so cute. What is a sloth called in Swedish? Sengångare. Sengångare. No? Oh, three-toed sloth. That's... Couldn't you just call it a sloth? Page 60. Okay. So here is the slothy friend, and this is the one I'm gonna make. So the yarn I'm gonna use is the same that I used for the bunny. I was thinking that every one of these I make, I use the same yarn so they can be like a little family. So the one I'm using is this Scheepjes Catona, and it's just a Mercer-sized cotton yarn. I need like a blonde. This one maybe? That's not the same. No, it is. Is it a... No, it's the same. That one, however, is not the same. I need like a cream for his toes and a dark brown for his face. Details. I got rudely interrupted by the memory card running out of space because I forgot to empty it before I started. So yeah, that's fun. But I went and got my crochet hook, which is a 2.5 millimeter. I picked these colors, which is 105, 505, and 162.
All right, so first and foremost, I was really hoping that I was going to be able to do a lot of live talking for this one, but my neighbors were being so noisy that weekend. I legitimately got so angry that I was blasting music just to sort of make a point. So yeah, no live talking, unfortunately. Man, these types of videos are so hard to like edit down to something like watchable and like cohesive. I had so much footage, and how do you make something out of that? I don't know how people do like short form and still make it seem like good. I have no idea how they do it. But I started out this little plush by making the body. Kerry Lord's, this book in particular anyway, has like some standard pieces. So there's like a standard body and a standard limb. And a lot of the animals, a lot of the plushies use those types. So the body for the sloth was a standard body. So I started by making that one. And one thing she recommends is to not stuff as you go, because you end up crocheting the stuffing into the plush, or into the yarn stuff. But I still do the stuffing because once you get to the end, the hole for the stuffing is so small that you just can't. It's impossible. It's so hard to get the stuffing in. It's like the same when you'll see when I get to the arms, like especially for this sloth, the arms were so long. I actually tried stuffing the first one once it was finished, and it was terrible because it was so hard to get the stuffing all the way down to the paw, because the paw is the only thing you stuff. For the sloth, the body took the longest. I think when I made the bunny, I think the head for the bunny took me the longest. I don't know why, but the body is the biggest piece for most of the plushies. After I made the body, I I made the limbs. So the sloth had extra long limbs, and it actually has claws, or the toes at the end of the paws too, but those you don't make until like at the very end when you've assembled the entire piece. I have another crochet project in the works right now. I cannot remember if I've mentioned it already, because I've been filming a little bit each week just to sort of make like updates. I bought these packs of like tiny yarn skeins, like 10-gram skeins I think, of a variety of colors, and it's cotton yarn, so I'm making tiny granny squares out of them, and I'm going to assemble all those squares into, I think, into 2 bags. That is the plan right now, because like I bought like 40 skeins, and out of those 40 skeins I can make 120 squares, which is a lot. So I think, if I've not miscounted, I can make like 1 tote bag and 1 little purse. And it's my bring to work project right now, so it's going kind of slowly, especially the past 2 weeks, because I don't know, I haven't found the I guess I haven't been in the right mood to crochet on the breaks. I don't know, sometimes, like, usually crocheting for me is like, it's really peaceful and stuff, but recently it's just been a lot, and it's really hard to zone out because of what's happening around me during lunch breaks. I haven't been able to find the peace to sit down and crochet in peace. But that is also an ongoing crochet project that hopefully you get to see maybe in like 2 or 3 weeks, maybe something like that. I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself, because then I'm just going to end up not doing it. But that's another one that's on the way. I'm really glad I took the time to make this plush though of the sloth, because you'll hear it at the end of the video, because I did do some live end of the project commentary, but he turned out so cute. Sloth friend turned out so cute. I'm dead. He's so cute. Right now, I'm working on the head, and the head is 2-colored. So you start from the back of the head, and then you switch to the white for the face, and then you do a little bit of brown at the end to make the nose. And I messed up the nose. It's kind of wonky, but I'm gonna be okay with it, because it's handmade. I really like when stuff looks super nice and super well put together and just perfect, flawless. But handmade stuff, I'm trying to allow those things to not be super perfect, because it sort of gives them that whole handmade charm, like the weird missed stitches and awkward sewing that puts a lot of character into it. I actually didn't miss any stitches on this one though. It's kind of hard to miss stitches, because you almost immediately notice, especially with Kerry Lord's patterns, because there is a stitch count at the end of every round and stuff. So it's really just easy to keep track of your progress, to make sure you're on track. You also weren't supposed to stuff the head until the end, and if the body was hard to stuff at the end, the head would have been impossible, because the hole at the nose was so tiny. I don't get how that's a recommendation. It feels so weird that you're not supposed to stuff until the very end. And I get it, you don't want to crochet your stuffing into your work, but then you just don't stuff it all the way to the top. Okay, now I've talked enough about crochet. Can I just gush about Persona 3 Reload for a bit? Oh my god, that's kind of why this video has taken so long too. I know I'm uploading this quite late into the week, but Persona 3, Reload, released, probably not last weekend, right? The weekend before that, but that first weekend I played 25 hours. I played 25 hours in like 2 days and like Friday night, but oh my god, it's making me so happy. And like, for most of you probably don't know, but this game came out when I was like, I don't know, 17. I was a teenager, and that game became my life. Like Persona 3, it takes up a huge space in my heart. Like, it was the game that got me into Japanese RPGs. Like the whole Shin Megaten series. If it wasn't for Persona 3, I would not be who I am today. It's that big of a deal for me. So getting to play the re-release or the remake finally is just so... It's heaven. I love it so much. And while I've been playing, like after finishing a couple of hours, I've been going back to my old OC and remaking her, and that's been really, really fun. So yeah, you might be seeing some fan art or art of my OC or something at some point, maybe. Back to Sloth Friend, working on attaching his eyes now. I don't think I showed any clips of actually making the eyes, but basically it was just flat circles crocheted in the round like everything else. I held them in place with a couple of pins just to make sure they didn't travel as I attached them. They turned out way more even than I thought they would. Like most of the time I mess up on like facial details because I haven't done a lot of it, but attaching these, it turned out really well. And I really liked, they might show up in a second, but I really liked doing like he had tufts of fur or whatever on the side of his face, and you just like sort of hook them in place. It's just a really fun detail. And I did use a needle to split the yarn ends to make sure it got super fluffy. Man, the assembly part is also like the most nerve-wracking thing for me. I always like, because I can crochet all day and like make it look nice, and I have no trouble crocheting things together and stuff, but once I have to start sewing things together, that's when I start messing up. Like, I am so bad at sewing things together. But I'm realizing I think it's mostly because I rush a lot when I want to assemble these kinds of things. So I just need to like pause and take a moment to think about it. And again, with this book by Kerry Lord, there are so many instructions for how to attach the limbs. Like, there are diagrams for where you're supposed to position the legs and things like that. So she makes it really easy for you to just do it the right way. I think I cut that part when I was flipping through the book, but like there is a whole like page spread about the back view of some of the plushies, so you can see how the tails are attached and things. There's just like, if you like crocheting plushies, get her books, or one of them at least, because there's so many tips and tricks and things you can learn from it. It's a really nice book, okay? I really like it. There's a book about like crocheting dogs. Like, there's I don't know, 50 or 60 different dog breeds you can do, and I need to get that book. I really need it. I want to make a poodle and a little Jack Russell if there is one. I just really want to make some doggos. yeah, working on the assembly. Man, the assembly also took a really long time for me. But I think it's because I really wanted him to look nice. He's kind of ugly, but I wanted at least the assembly to look nice. So I tried really hard on that. One thing here about attaching the head, one thing I noticed is that I make the neck very skinny, which is something I really have to work on because I have that trouble with the rabbit or the hare. You can see it at the end when I go through the whole, or when I do my final thoughts part, but the rabbit, his head is really, really wobbly, and I think it's partly due to me like understuffing the top of the neck, and partly how I attach the head to the body, because like I don't, how do I explain? I don't spread out the neck too much when I attach it to the head, so the area it's attached to is very, very tiny. And I think I did the same thing with the sloth. Now the sloth is a little bit more stable because he doesn't have big ears or anything that makes it heavier. But I definitely need to, like, for the next plush I make, I really need to think about making this like area for the neck attachment bigger so that it just has more surface to sit on. But yeah, working on attaching an arm now. Man, I cut so much. Like I always cut a lot. Like I'm realizing I need to just record less because I end up cutting out like 90% of the stuff, and it's just such a time waste, honestly, for me, especially when I'm editing, because I have to transfer files back and forth a whole lot, and it takes up a lot of space, and the iPad I'm working with doesn't have a lot of internal space, so I end up having to do it in parts and things, and it's very time consuming to edit. Oh, I'm working on the toes or the nails right now for his paws, and this I really liked. Like I really like this technique because basically you slip stitched the yarn to the paw, and then you did a long chain and slip stitched back down the chain and attached it to the paw again, and you did that to make 3 toes, and then you just like sewed in the ends, and you had some long claws on your little plushie's hand, and and it was simple, and it turned out looking really, really good. So anyway, we're at the end of the video now, so I'm gonna hand over to past me for the final thoughts and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you for listening to me rambling on about all the things that don't matter. Thank you.
All right, final thread. He's actually not as ugly as I thought he'd be. I don't know why, but then again, these stuffies, like the Kerry Lord ones, they are kind of like the ugly cute kind, mostly because they lean a little bit more on the realistic side. They go towards a little bit uncanny and a little bit ugly, but also very, 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 very cute. Now, I feel like the claws are funky. They feel very funky. However, if I look at the picture in the book, they are funky. Oh no, you're adorable. For this. Okay, so here's my original bunny friend, and this is little sloth guy. So you can tell, like, the bodies are the same. Sloth guy's arms are a bit longer. This is the standard arm. And then obviously his head is a slightly different shape. But overall, bunny has a tail, sloth boy doesn't. They have a very like distinct pattern to how you attach the limbs and things. One thing I did do, usually you just attach them straight, but because I wanted his to go forward for an easy sit, I did them kind of angled. I'm gonna switch to a different angle so you can like see them sitting next to each other, because bunny friend has ears, he's very like top heavy, so he falls over, and you can see he leans forward quite a bit. I know you want to sit. There we go. They're so cute. Like I said, the toes feel like they look wonky. I don't know. I mean, if you think about a sloth, they are kind of wonky. I like the sort of fluffy frilliness of the eye things. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. They're so cute. And they really look like they belong together. You turned out so cute. Man, he's so cute. They're so cute. I want a pet bunny friend too, but like he's gonna fall over, so Slothy is the only one that gets the pets. But yeah, this was a fun little, I wouldn't say it's a quick project. I think I worked on it for maybe 7 hours, 7 to 8 hours it took me to make this guy. But either way, 6 to 8 hours, I guess, depending on how quick you are to crochet. I really recommend Kerry Lord's books because like this one, it's just so detailed and well instructed. The only thing I get sort of salty about is like the lack of instructions for positioning of certain things. Like, but because it's handmade, it's not that important, except when you're me. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out and listening to me probably rant and rave a bit about my neighbors. I'm sorry about that. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're doing well. Until next time, bye. Wait, bye. I don't dare do it with the hair. Should I try? Okay. Nope, he fell. Bunny friend says bye.